48 hours before Artur Szpilka fight, we are talking to Jameel McCline. How do you feel in Poland after a few days? Not most fortunate beginning, but your luggage has arrived.
Yes, my luggage finally arrived today. We got here Monday or Tuesday, and today's already Thursday, 2.5 days later. But my luggage is here, and everything is good. We love the hotel. We like Poland. It's a very beautiful country. We've been to the park a couple times to do some jogging and some sprints. So we like the area. It's very nice.
At the beginning, I would like to ask you about something I forget to ask you about in Warsaw. Where does those scars come from? From the gangster life back in your young times?
Yes, absolutely. I have no scars from boxing. All my scars here, and I had 130 stitches that come across my face, getting cut with a knife in the gangster life in New York City. Yes.
Okay. And how it happened that you started your journey with boxing? Why you thought that it would suit you more than, I don't know, like football, like basketball, like most American teenagers?
Well, I played basketball in high school and football in high school, and I also played I played basketball in college. But after 2 years of college, I went to prison for 5 years. So when I get out of prison after 5 years, I am 24 years old, and what other job could I get but go into boxing sports? So I went into boxing at the request of a couple friends. So that's how I started to box after I came home from prison at 24 years old. Didn't start boxing until I was 26.
And your first of 4 eventually title shots were against Vladimir Klitschko. You lost that fight. How do you remember this fight, and how you see Vladimir as he progressed through years?
I remember the Vladimir Klitschko fight very, very clearly. It was my very first multi-million-dollar payday. I was very excited about that. I trained very, very hard for that fight. I was in very, very good shape. It was at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas on HBO. I remember it was very special for me because I was a pro. I mean, not pro, but I only was boxing for 6 years from the time I started boxing to the time I got into the ring with Vladimir Klitschko. So to me, it was a very special thing that I was able to achieve so much in such a short time. Yes, to answer your question, how I feel how he has progressed, I think because he has been so dominant. Yes, people talk about how boring he can be at times, but yet he is still very, very dominant. He's won so many fights. I feel that at this point in history, Vladimir Klitschko is probably one of the top 20 best fighters in the world.
Mm-hmm. And
one of the top 20 best heavyweights of all time. Okay. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And if we could compare him to the greats one, like Muhammad Ali or Joe Louis, of course, they were not their size, but if the fight between them happened, it would end in the Klitschko domination.
Well, I don't like crossing eras. I don't like talking about guys who then, but yes, Muhammad Ali was very dominant back then. But if you were to find a way to resurrect Muhammad Ali now at his greatest, and then you put him in with Vladimir Klitschko at his greatest, Vladimir Klitschko is just way too strong. The jab is too great. I think he's one of the greatest top 20 heavyweights of all time, Vladimir Klitschko, yes.
Mm-hmm. Your next 2 title shots against Sam Peter and Chris Bird, it was very close to win this fight. Why do you think from now, few years after those fights, why do you think you came up short on those 2 occasions?
Well, the one occasion with Chris Bird was that, I was young in the game. I didn't really understand that I had him in a position where I could have hurt him and knocked him out. And to be honest with you, going into that last round, I didn't think I was anywhere close to winning that fight. But then later when I watched it, I noticed that it was a very, very close fight. And even people thought I won the fight. But I didn't think I did. I don't know why. It was just something, just being young and not really understanding boxing the way I ought to understand it. And with Sam Peter, I mean, what more can you do to win a fight? I mean, I knocked him down 3 times. I dominated some of the later rounds. I should have won that fight.
And against Nikolai Valiev, very unfortunately, you got twisted your knee. I think much more people rooted for you in this fight than for Valiev, because many people didn't want him to beat Rocky Marciano record.
Well, you know, I thought I was winning that fight. I was definitely coming on in that fight. And I remember thinking to myself, well, let me get up and I can fight from the corner, you know. So when I told my guys to pick me up, I fell down. I said, pick me up again, and I fell down again. I didn't understand how severe the knee was destroyed, but I destroyed the knee really, really bad during that fight, and I couldn't continue. Mm-hmm. But again, that's 4 title shots, and this is one of the reasons why I came back.
Mm-hmm. And your last big fight was against Chris Arreola and HBO, and from what HBO commentators told the viewers, first you rejected this fight, you said, I'm retired, I'm done, and then you came back fully prepared, or mainly for the purse? Well,
I tried to prepare as much as possible. Was I prepared? No. I had 4 weeks to get ready. Excuse me. After being off for quite some time. But it was for a lot of money and the #1 spot in the world. So it was really hard for me to turn that down. You know, the #1 spot in the world, I thought, work really hard, try to get past this kid, and if you beat him, then you can train hard for the Vitaly Klitschko fight. But it didn't work out that way. You know, he stopped me early in the 4th round or early in the 3rd, whichever round it was. But anyway. So no, I was not prepared fully for that fight, and that's, you know, you live and learn, you know.
Mm-hmm. And what could you tell us? What happened in Harold's Conyers fight? Because he's gamely veteran, but with an unimpressive record, and many people are seeing this fight as really major big upset.
Well, it was a huge upset, obviously. You know, I hate talking about so many losses. You know, we could talk about some of my wins here, but one of the things that people don't know is that I went into that fight, I had the flu. I was very, very, very ill. But I continued to go anyway because I thought he was not on my level, and then I could still beat him. But I was very, very ill, and it showed during the fight, which is why I lost the fight. So, but I'll tell you this. Between the Arreola fight, the Conyers fight, and the fight, my last win against Castillo, this is why I feel that the knockout promotions has chosen me to fight their guy because they think I'm done, and I would think I'm done too if I was on the other side, looking at that. But they don't really know how effective my training has been lately, how dedicated I am, how strong and how fast I am. And my true honest assessment is that when it'll take about anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes during the fight, they will realize they made a huge mistake. Mm-hmm. And that's just me very humbly speaking, very, you know, bragging. I just think that they'll realize, wow, we made a mistake. This guy is not. Because, I mean, who can't beat Conyers, you know? I think Arthur Szpilka destroys Conyers right now. Mm-hmm. So if I can't beat Conyers, why should he not be able to beat me? I understand their thinking, but I think they made a huge mistake.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Artur Szpilka, as you look at his fights, is overrated in Poland? Because most people here think that he's the most gifted Polish fighter since Andrew Gołota. Do you agree with this statement?
I mean, I know Gołota, and Gołota was, Gołota was one of my idols. I loved him. I still do. I have a lot of respect for him. Artur Szpilka is no. Andrew Gołota. It just did two of them. Maybe in another 15 fights, Artur Szpilka will have that kind of presence, but no, he's not. Is he the biggest thing in Poland in boxing next to Adamek right now? Yes, I'm sure he is, but he's still not ready for world-class boxing. He's ready for guys in the world, but not world-class boxing.
So you think he's a little maybe overrated?
I don't know how you guys rate. I don't know how the Polish people rate him. I don't know how they rate him. I know they rate him well here in Poland, which is great and which is understandable. But I don't know how they rate. I don't know how he's rated in the world. I don't think anyone in the world thinks he's much of anything. That's my own opinion. Because I didn't know about him until I was asked to fight him.
Okay. And when you heard about this offer, you probably didn't know who is Artur Szpilka, and why did you decide to take this fight?
Well, I looked at YouTube and I thought that it was a great that he's young, he's strong, he's very talented. He has a lot of talent, a lot of strength, and a lot of fight in him. But I decided to take the fight because it was such a big fight, and he's highly regarded here in Europe. So I just viewed it as a quicker way back to the title for me. I don't have anything against him. This has nothing to do with him. He's just in my way. So I will chop him up, get him out of the way, and keep moving down the path.
And like you said, in Warsaw on Tuesday when you arrived, you were very humble. And on Wednesday, I heard that you said it straight that I'm gonna kick his ass. Where this anger came from in your words?
Well, when Wednesday, just coming off the plane, I'm tired. My bag wasn't with. I still didn't have my luggage. I had some time to think about things, work out a little bit, and really, I'm still very humble. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm very happy for the opportunity. That does not negate the fact that I'm going to kick his ass. It doesn't change the fact. Just because I'm happy and humble to be here and grateful and gracious to be here, it doesn't change the fact that I will run through him. And he's way too young, way too eager. He will try to attack me. And he will try to attack me and walk into something big, and I will knock him out. I don't feel that Artur Szpilka. I just don't feel that he's on my level when I am in great shape, and I am in great shape right now.
And let's say it will go your way, you'll win. How more fights you think you have to go through till you get a major shot again?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. All I know is that I'm here to continue to fight and continue to win fights and continue to train hard and learn with my new team and just take it back to the top of the world. I've been there before. I know I have this very odd feeling inside my soul that it'll happen again. So I'm just going on that. As long as I put in the hard work and keep moving forward, I just have a great feeling that something's going to happen soon. I don't really know who. What I'm looking to do, everyone says they want Klitschko, they want this guy. What I'm looking for is all the guys who think they can beat Klitschko, let me fight them, get them all out of the way, and then the rest will take care of itself. This is Jameel McCline from Miami, Florida, USA. Artur Szpilka, I'm coming for you, so definitely watch yourself.